Hello, hello! What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and hopefully some of you know by now that I am watching and reviewing for the very first time the Lethal Weapon series. Yes, I am on Lethal Weapon 2, which is a 1989 film that is obviously the sequel to Lethal Weapon. It is once again directed by Richard Donner. And the plot is we see Riggs and Murtaugh, who are still partners, still going out there and doing what they do best, which is take down criminals, take down bad guys, until we meet this one villain, this Iranian diplomatic leader who's using this immunity to do whatever the fuck he wants. He's off limits to the cops, nobody can touch him. And he's dealing drugs, he's money laundering, he's doing everything in the book until Riggs and Murtaugh say, fuck that, we're going to go after this guy. Or else. Now, what I thought of Lethal Weapon 2 was, I admit, I went into this movie a little nervous, a little worried, just because after watching that first film, after seeing what all of the hype was about, after seeing why everybody loves that movie so much, and then me loving it just as much, I thought, well, what if the sequels don't work? What if the magic's gone? What if it's not as good? What if it takes away a little something from that first film? But after watching the second movie, there's nothing to worry about. I still enjoyed the second film so much good stuff going on here. Let's first talk about Mel Gibson as Martin Riggs, because Mel Gibson, back in the day, back in the 80s, he was so likable, he was so charismatic, he was so charming as this character. You can't help but love to watch him and just enjoy him doing everything that he does. But he also has those scenes that pull at your heartstrings. He has those scenes like when he's talking to Danny Glover's wife, and he's talking about that golden pen and how that just sort of brings up all of these feelings about what happened to his wife and how she was murdered, and just all of this stuff that makes you feel for this guy for so many different reasons. But also his relationship with Danny Glover, just how like you buy these guys as friends. I love that like Mel Gibson spends so much time at his family's house and how they all look after each other, take care of each other, but they also joke with each other. Like with Danny Glover's daughter has that commercial that is so big and important that everybody in the precinct has to watch, right? Until you see that it's a condom commercial. Oops! That was so hilarious, and the constant ribbing that they did on him. I just enjoyed all of that. I enjoy seeing these guys together. Like, I don't ever want to see them apart now. Now, let's talk about the villain. The villain is Arjun Rudd, who is the Iranian leader, like I said. This guy, at first I look at him and I thought, okay, he's going to be your typical villain in these types of movies where there's not a whole lot behind him per se. He's just the driving force, right? He's just the guy who's doing things that the bad guys have to stop. And I thought, okay, well, at least I'm going to enjoy Riggs and Murtaugh together. But then, when he uses that immunity card, you go, okay, this guy's smarter than your average villain. I'm a little more interested. And then, once you get to the point where he is arranging for these cops to get picked off one by one, and then he truly makes it personal with Riggs and Murtaugh, but Riggs especially, that's where you go, holy fuck. I want to see each and every one of these bad guys killed in the worst way possible. That's how much I hated them by the end of the movie. And that's good. That's very good. But also, we have an addition to Riggs and Murtaugh. They get put on this case where they have to basically protect a witness. And this witness, Leo Getz, is played by Joe Pesci, and man, oh man, you could have had a situation where I already love Riggs and Murtaugh together. I already find them funny and likable, just the two of them. So to add somebody else in there, it could have been a disaster. It could have been like, fuck, this guy's so annoying, get him out of here, he's ruining the scenes. But it's Joe Pesci, and he knows how to work in that comedy, not be too over the top, but just the stuff that he's doing as this guy, it's so hilarious. Every time he's talking to them and he's talking about the stuff that he did, and he ends every sentence with, okay, this is what was going on. Oh, you guys aren't too bright, huh? Okay, let me talk about this. And like, he ends every sentence like that, and I'm laughing every single time. It's so great. I love that it's still rated R, it's still bloody when it has to be, but it's not too over the top. You get some great action here. I mean, so great action. So many car chases, like at the very beginning, or the scene where Mel Gibson is practically hanging off of the edge of this car, and he's doing a lot of those stunts himself, which is crazy in and of itself. And then you have like the scenes where they're being shot at, like when this trailer gets shot at, and it's so insane that they upped the ante with this sequel. They knew they had to, so they did it. So what more can I say besides the fact that you could see my surprise when I saw the ending of this movie, and I loved what they did with it. And then I looked up online and saw that originally Shane Black wrote a script where Riggs died at the end, where Mel Gibson gets killed off, and you go, fuck. I mean, they even shot 2 versions of this ending where one of them is Mel Gibson dying, and I'm like, okay, maybe you can argue that story-wise, character-wise, it would make more sense to go that route. Maybe it would, but man, oh man, am I glad that they did not do that, because I need a happy ending. I really do, and I'm so glad to see this movie turn out the way that it does. It's so much fun, it's so funny, it's so much action. Like, what more could you ask for from a buddy cop action movie? So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Lethal Weapon 2? Do you like it as well? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!